we're gonna first look at, we're gonna first go from J to K. We're gonna find the distance from J to K. And we're gonna call this x1, y1, x2, y2, like that. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay, so we just put in the numbers in the formula. So the distance is 2 minus 10 squared plus minus 5 minus a minus 1 squared, square rooted, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 2 minus 10, what does, excuse me, what does that become?
2 minus 10, it's 8.
Negative 8.
Oh,
And
man.
it doesn't matter because you're squaring it, but it does matter just in terms of like you want to make sure you're doing the right thing. How about negative 5 minus a minus 1?
Wait, negative 5 minus 1. That's
Minus a minus.
that's just 4, right?
Negative 4. Negative 4, yeah. It
But I
becomes
thought negative and a negative make a positive.
uh when you're, so it becomes negative 5 plus 1. One is positive, one is negative. So the one that's further from 0 tells you the sign of the answer. Then you take the larger and subtract the smaller,
Ah,
which is
okay.
4, but then it's negative because of that one being further. But again, because you're squaring it, it doesn't really matter. But it does matter, but it doesn't matter because you're gonna be okay in this type of problem. So leave that up to 80, like that. Is that
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Yeah.
All right. Now we could reduce this, but we don't need to. We just need to calculate the distance from the next two ordered pairs and see if it's the same square root. All right, so we'll do that now. Again, this is x1 and y1, x2 and y2. So your distance from m to n is negative 3 minus a minus 7 squared plus 1 minus 9 squared, square rooted. And again, I'm using that distance formula.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to just simplify this again.
Simplify it. So
Yeah. So the double negative here, what does that become? What's minus 3 minus a minus 7? What does that become?
negative 4 and what would that be a
The
would
squared
it
is 16. How about the next one?
what 16? Oh yeah.
Yeah, when you
So
square it,
the
because
next
you're
one,
multiplying.
I'm trying to think if it's like either negative 8 or just 8. Is it negative 8?
It is. It's because it's really like a minus 9 here. They're negative 9. But when you square it, you get 64. So this becomes the square root of 80.
So wait, so they're both 80?
The square root of 80. But yes, they're the same. Since they're the same, you can say that they're congruent.
Okay. Okay.
I got that down.
Yeah.
That's everything for 3. Yeah, I mean, the answer is yes. Hopefully you got all that work down. All right. So the next question here, number 4. says if y is the midpoint of x, z, y is located at 3, 1, and z is located 11, negative 5, find the coordinates of x. So I think sometimes it's good to draw a picture like x, y, and z, even if this isn't the like correct picture, it's like good to show the path. All right, so z is 11, negative 5, y is 3, negative 1. And because the direction matters, like we're jumping, we're going to go backwards. We're going from 11 to 3. So how do you go from 11 to 3?
11 to 3.
Yeah.
Um, you subtract by 8.
So you're going to do the same thing. You're going to subtract by 8 here. So 3 minus 8, what does that become?
3 minus 8, it's 5.
Nope.
Negative 5?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Now, same thing for this other direction. You're going from -5 to +1. You know, what's the step there?
It's you that's you you subtract by 8, you subtract by 4,
So you're not, you got to be careful. Like you're like
add
-1
by
is
4.
bigger. Yeah, -1 is bigger, so you're adding 4. So now you're gonna add 4 to go this way.
So that would be 3. Positive 3 right there, yeah.
Okay, so that like we didn't really like there is work, but this is more of a, I don't know, sure way of doing it. But I think it's just as good, maybe better than some of the other ways. Any questions, thoughts on that before we proceed?
Yeah, how do I box in an answer?
I mean, this is your answer.
Uh,
We're trying to find the coordinates of
negative
x.
5, 3. Okay.
All right. All right. So number 5 here, if D is the midpoint of CE, so maybe we'll do it this way. Here's C, here's E, here's D. If it's a midpoint, these are congruent. CD is 9x minus 7, and DE is 3x plus 17. Okay. So if it's a midpoint, that means that these are congruent. If they're congruent, you can set them equal to each other because they have the same measure. Something like that.
Uh-huh.
All right. The next thing here is to solve this equation. So we were doing this a couple weeks ago. Why don't you try solving that?
6 and 24.
Now, what do you mean by the 620? The final answer is x equals. Do you have
Oh, 4.
yes. Okay. So yeah, it's 6x equals 24, x equals 4. That's great. Sometimes they want you to find x, sometimes they want something else. In this problem, they want CE. CE is the entire distance. Okay. which means you want to find C to D first, or C to E. So C to D is 9x minus 7. So you're going to put that x value in and get the length from C to D. So go ahead and simplify that for us, please.
Okay. It's 38.
It is 36 minus 7.
29.
Yes. So that's the length of CD. What do you know about the length CD and DE? How are they related?
CD and ED.
Yes.
Well, they're all on the same line.
Right. But what do these vertical lines mean?
Those are the midpoints.
No, the midpoint is D. What do we know about C to D and D to E if it's the midpoint? You're right. D is the midpoint, but what does that mean for CD and DE?
Those are the uh
Okay, let's have you do this. Let's have you find C to E or not, sorry, E to no, D to E. Let's have you find D to E, which is 3x plus 17. So 3 times 4 plus 17. What does that equal?
okay. It's well, it's 4. It equals
What
4.
it, what is 4?
X equals 4.
Yes, we're calculating DE, which is 3x plus 17. You put 4 in for x, you calculate this length. What is the length from D to E? Do you understand what I'm asking you to do?
Kind of.
Okay, what did you do in this previous line to get 36?
Well, I put in my calculator. I just put 9
Okay,
parentheses 4 and
okay.
7.
All right, so why not do the same thing here? 3 parentheses 4 plus 17.
It's 29.
Okay, what do you notice about these two numbers?
They're the same.
They're the same. So that was what I was trying to get you to tell me, is that CD is the same as DE because D is the midpoint. If it's the midpoint, the segments are congruent. Now we want the length from all the way from C to E. C to E is what?
That's do I add them?
Yes.
It's 58.
All right, very good. Any uh, any questions on that before we proceed to the next one here?
Nope.
All
All
right.
good.
All right. So number 6 here is, I don't know. There's like I don't know. It's not really a problem, but there's some like things up above number 6. Maybe we should probably do first.
Oh, I already did that in class.
Oh, good. Good. Did you did they get confirmed, or do you need me to confirm them? What
The first one is vertical. The second one is strip to lentier angle sep. I can't pronounce it. SEPULNLENT
Yeah, I
A
mean
A Y.
these are supplementary.
Yeah, supplementary.
How about
Supplementary
the next one?
angles, linear pair,
Good.
and then
Complementary.
com
Yeah, good.
complementary. Man, I can't read
Good.
my own handwriting.
Well, the words aren't reading the words is important. It's just getting them down. So I guess the point is you're going to be able to um, use those in these equations. Which of these four is this the number six? Are these vertical angles, supplementary, linear pair, or complementary?
They're what?
Which
They're
which of these four are they? Yeah. Is it A?
oh,
Is
they're
it B?
vertical.
Yes. And these are congruent. These add up to 180, add to 180, and add to 90. So these are congruent. So you have to set the two equations equal to each other. Could you solve that for X, please?
Okay. Okay, x equals 17.
And that's all that's asking for. It's not asking for you to go any further. So you can say, okay, I'm good. I'm done with that. Okay. Um, 7, just like 6, you have to figure out, well, which of those is it? Are these vertical? Are they, supplementary, linear pair, complementary? Um, and this line over here to the right is kind of like unnecessary.
Oh, that's a complementary?
So notice the complementary always has this little box here.
Oh yeah, yes. So
There, there's
that's
no
just
box, so
a
we'll say no.
very straight linear pair.
Okay, and linear pairs, what do they add up to?
Uh, the 180.
Yes. Okay. Why don't you try solving this for us, please?
Okay. X equals 6.
Okay, so we got 28x minus or plus 12 equals 180. 28x equals 168. You said x equals 6. You are correct. And I guess that's sufficient. Um, any questions on that?
Um, nope.
Okay, all right. All right, if A and B are complementary angles, what does that mean that they add up to?
That
They're
adds up to 90.
90. So we just write the equation 2x plus 11 plus 10x minus 17 equals 90. Okay, so go ahead and solve this equation then.
Okay. Okay, for that I got I got 8. X equals 8.
Okay, now this one does not want you to find, it says to find the measure of angle A, which
I do
means you
know
have to
that.
put X back in. What did you come up with when you do that?
Put X back in where?
There, because you're trying to find the measure of angle A.
Okay, give me a second. 8 plus 11. One second. Sorry, I was just copying something down.
No problem.
It's 27.
So that is correct. It is 27. And you always gotta be careful. Like, what is it actually asking you to find? Make sure you give them the thing that you're trying to find. All right. 9 will set up. I don't know if I have time to solve, but that's a good chunk of this that we've gotten done today. So they're supplementary this time, which means they add up to 180. So the first step here is to solve for x. Once you get the value of
Wait, was
x,
27 the answer?
yes.
Okay.
So solve for x, and then you're going to put that x
Oh, wait.
value, whatever you get, back into this equation here. So we do
Okay.
have to stop here for today. We got plenty of time. You said you got 2 weeks to do this, so